the channel, everyone. I'm George.
I'm Stav.
This is Malaka MotorSports. We're going to be going over drag strip prep. There's countless threads that are on Facebook, on Instagram, on forums asking, hey, what do I do to go to the drag strip? And then we're also going to go over a list of what we do to the vehicle in terms of getting it ready. We actually have an unprepped style drag race coming up this coming week, and we have to prep the RS3 again. And when I say prep, don't get scared. It's not deconfiguring, you know, the car by any stroke of the imagination.
No sawzalls are coming out.
Definitely not. But we are going to be removing some components to lighten up the car, getting optimal for the drag strip. And we're also going to show you what tire compound we're going to be using with an 18-inch wheel, what we remove. So without further ado, guys, this is RS style drag strip prep for the RS3/TTRS for those of you guys that are interested in going fast in the quarter mile. Well, first thing we're going to be pulling out, don't mind the wires and stuff I have all over the car. It's a bit of a mess, but we'll clean it up here shortly. There are 4 bolts. They're going to be triple square, all 4. Guys have changed these out to either Allen. You can do whatever you want. You can use the factory stuff. But on each corner of the seat, front and back, there's going to be these bolts. Undo them, and the actual bracket is attached to the seat of the car. And then you're just unbolting it from the chassis. Now, there are a couple wires underneath, obviously for the heated seats, the airbag, and some other gizmos. There's a little mechanism here that lets the car know when someone's sitting, so it activates the passenger airbag. But ultimately, it's really, really simple, and I'll just unbolt this real back and show you what's underneath. And again, nothing to be afraid of here. You're unbolting and removing seats. You're not destroying the car. There's no detrimental effect. But when it comes to the airbags, the one thing that has proven true, and I believe a lot of people have talked about this, when you do unplug the seats, as soon as one airbag is unplugged, they all don't work. So try to do this only for the track if you're drag racing, but you are losing the safety and comfort of airbags in the car. Now, there are some people that make little private, little homemade, little wiring kits that kind of tricks the car to let them know that the passenger and driver's seat are in with racing seats. So this way the other airbags are in and you're kind of covered in case of a collision. You can do that. I opted not to, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to pull out the front and rear seat, and then I got to clean off my Kirky that's up there that has all the brackets and everything attached. And they're going to install that using the same hardware that we use to remove the stock seats. And I'll show you here. I'll show you that here in just a second. Seat pretty much unbolted on back and forth, and it comes literally right off, but then you have your cables here. Don't try to disconnect them from the seat. Just come on down, and again, they're quick disconnect little connectors. Come, pull them back, and easily come out with this little clip here, and they're right here. And it's going to be identical for both sides. So when you find them, hit the clip here on the back, press it down, and then pull it. There we go. And they all pretty much come out straight forward, and that goes with the seat. Usually what I do, so I don't damage them, I kind of just like wrap them around or something, so this way they don't kind of, when I take them out, put them in the garage, they don't kind of sit on each other. And then you can remove them once you're putting the seats back in. And again, you're not damaging anything. As you can tell, I've done this quite a few times, so this thing's kind of used to being flapped open, but again, it all goes back, pretty much sits the way it's supposed to. And this seat will just pop right out. I'm going to do the same thing for the driver's seat, and then I'm going to pull the rear seats. And the rear seats are only, believe it or not, 1 bolt in the center, and I'll show you that when we get there in a second. But really easy, really straightforward. Don't be scared to do this. This is going to take me a total of maybe 20 minutes, and I'm doing this by myself, so you can do this 20-30 minutes, take a huge chunk of weight out of the car, and give yourself that advantage at the drag strip, or half mile, whatever, or Mexico. All right, let's continue. I'll pull the seats out real quick, and then I'll get to the rears, and I'll show you how I pull the rears out. And for those of you guys worried about the driver's side seat belt and not having a harness, the seat belt is mounted with this little metal bracket here with just 1 bolt and a nut, and it comes off really easily. Harness underneath it unplugs very easily. Again, you don't need to replug it because the seat's not installed, and there's not going to be anything detecting anyone sitting in the car. And again, that's another reason why the airbags don't work, but we're going to be mounting right there. So you can still utilize the factory seatbelt if you don't have a harness, and that's acceptable depending on how fast you go with the track. So we're going to mount it here, put a bolt through it. There's going to be a nut on the back side on the inside of the seat, and that's going to have the factory seatbelt for us to use with the Kirky seat. And again, I'm using the Sparco bottom. Yeah, they're not adjustable rails. I like it fixed. And then using the Kirky brackets. And again, they just bolt right in. That's pretty much it. There's no fabrication, no welding of any kind. You can if you want to, but it's pretty much just bolted in. And I haven't had any issues with it in the last 2 years, so. And this is the big boy chair. This is guys who are a little bit larger than normal, so it's been holding up really well. Anyway, let's install the seatbelt and I get the seat in the car. So if that, I was gonna throw the stock interior back in and just rock it for a while. It's been 4 months and it's already coming back out. The Kirky Big Man racing seat is in, that's for me. It's bolted in, no problem, nice and sturdy. Now the rear seats. The bottom cushions pop right out, and the rear seats, and that's actually pretty light. I may just leave that in just for, I guess, I don't know, visibility's sake. It also muffles a lot of the sound too. There's 2 openings on either side for the fuel tank, and it's plastic, and it's not the most soundproof thing in the world, so I may just leave that on there and pop off the rear seats. So I'm gonna show you guys how easily this thing pops off. Again, you're just pulling them down, and you're coming over here. Pull the other side down too. Oh, crap. So, seats are back down, and all it is 1 bolt right there. And that's holding the bracket that mounts both seats down. As soon as you pull this out, both seats literally lift right out. So I'm gonna remove that. I think it's a Torx bit, or is it? Could be a Torx, could be a triple square. Let's see, probably. Yeah, grab some tools. And that will pop right off. And those things are heavy. I'd say about maybe a good 70, 80 pounds, maybe a little bit lighter, just in rear seats. And then obviously removing the 2 front seats. So you're saving yourself well over 100 pounds in just seats that you don't have to carry with you when you're going down the track, which is kind of cool. So, all right, I'm gonna yank out the rear seats and I'll show you guys what it looks like. I think you've seen it before a million times on our channel, but we've never really gone over taking apart the interior. And a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, it's a pretty daunting task, believe it or not, for some people. So I want to make this as clear as possible and easy. Again, you're not destroying the car. You're simply just removing seats to save some weight so you can have a little bit more fun with the car at the track. Rear seats are out, and the rear foam and all the deck lid stuff can stay, as it helps as a nice sound absorber. If you want to remove it because you're worried about it moving around, you can. At the drag, it won't really move too much. I actually have a netting that kind of goes over the little silver hooks that kind of keeps everything down too, as an added plus. In fact, I'll show you guys. So this netting essentially just goes over all the points here, kind of hooks down. Once it's all hooked up, it kind of keeps everything down here. I'll show you guys. Ready? 1, 2. And I don't remember if the RS3 actually came with netting. I think I took this out of one of the B5s. No, I don't remember. I have like 5 of these here at the house, so I threw it on there and it kind of keeps everything down. If you want to remove all the tool kits and all the jack and all that, you can. Again, every little bit helps. I still have the stock battery in. My Braille battery is up there. I'm not going to throw it in. The Braille is great, but due to the severity and a lot of visibility of the race that's coming up this week, I'm going to use the stock batteries. It's reliable. There's plenty of juice. There may be an instant where we need to flash something or up the boost or whatever, and we have to hook up the Cyvex, and I'd rather have the juice on the stock battery rather than draining the Braille, which is not really high discharge or high output. It's meant for racing, but I don't think it was actually designed for cars with a lot of electronics. We actually had it die on us, but I was normally driving for a few days with it, let the car sit for a day, and then the next day at a gas station it just died on me. So it's great. I will use it at the drag strip. For the upcoming race, I'm just going to throw in and just leave the stock battery. Nothing in the engine bay changes, and for those of you guys questioning about the blue inlet, that is the new IMS 1000 inlet. The old one is pretty much up here, right there. When I got the IMS 1000 kit, there were no IMS 1000 or 1100 or 1200 inlets made. So Rs Motorsport made me one, and they sent it out. They sent me a picture, which I'll show you guys, of a beautiful silver, raw silver. And I was like, yes, it's gonna look sick. I'm gonna make the rest of the piping silver when I get a chance. And it shows up painted royal blue. I mean, literally, high gloss rattle can blue. So I'm gonna have to take that off and sandblast it, or maybe I should leave it on there for good luck. Put in the comments below if you guys think I should leave it on. Maybe I'll just leave it. Maybe it'll be a funny story, something as a conversation piece. But nothing in the engine bay is going to change for the race. Again, for the interior, all we did was yank all the OEM seats aside from the bottom cushion. Someone from Audi reached out to us, one of the engineers, or at least claimed they were, and they were watching our videos, and they said, why don't you leave the lower cushion in? It's actually very light. You can leave the rear foams and the deck lid on, and it won't really matter for weight. And I got into an email conversation with this gentleman, and I asked why. He's like, well, we actually designed it as insulation. So if you're driving the car around town, if you need to, even during the race, it makes things a little bit quieter, and it really doesn't make a huge difference if you remove it. And I said, all right. So I left it on, and he's right. When I dailied the car with no interior for quite some time, we were going race to race, it was really, really loud. But with the lower cushion in, and again, which is, I think it weighs about 8 or 9 pounds, and then the rear cushion and the foam, which is another 2 or 3 pounds, it doesn't make a huge difference. Again, the front seats are removed, the rear upper seats are removed, they're all right here. And I think right here, this package right here will net you over 120 pounds easily, that you just remove from the vehicle, then now you don't have to lug down the track. This is going to be a 2-part video, all in this video, so don't go away. We've done the interior prep. Now we're going to show you what we do in terms of the wheels. Right now I have TSWs wrapped in street tires. What I used to do is remove them, put the stockers back on, go wrap them in my DR2s when I wanted to run 18s, and then trailer the car to a race with the TSWs on the DR2s. The DR2s are Hoosier drag radials that are right here, and they're pretty amazing. They got some they got some age to them, but I think I got a few races left in them. Still really, really good tires. I think the fastest we ever gone on these were about 9.7-ish, and that was on a stock motor. So with the built motor, I'm actually kind of curious to see what she'll do. Again, this is not a prep drag. This is on an airstrip, impromptu race, kind of pink style, where we're going to be negotiating and going back and forth with some people in terms of races and see how it goes. So I'm going to be running the 18s on DR2s, and I have a new set of wheels that are arriving tomorrow from 034 Motorsport, and I'm going to showcase them on this channel in this video for this race prep. So stick around. In about 2 seconds, as soon as I close this, you guys will see what wheels that we kind of have that we're going to mount up and what they look like and the color that I got them in, and then we'll continue on. After the wheels, we're going to be yanking the exhaust. We're adding the integrated engineering exhaust system. Again, 3.5, flows like a mother, but it does weigh a good amount of weight, almost close to OEM. Great for daily driving, sounds amazing, flows, handles the power that I want to throw at it. But that's another 65 to 70 pounds that we could shed, making it almost a total of over 200 pounds. I'd say 250 that we are yanking from the car that we no longer need to pull down the track with us. So really, really excited. Exhaust is going to be coming off. The TSWs are going to be coming off. 034 wheels are going to be going on, and I'll showcase which one they are and why we decided to go with them. They're actually really, really sick. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning when we're slapping on these wheels, and we'll continue on with yanking the exhaust. It is day 2 of track prep in the morning. We got the car fine-tuned by Nick with the new inlet and the new fueling lines in terms of upping the boost a little bit. I am in upper elevation, so there's a certain limit into what I can do. But the car boogie's a little bit better now. And the place where we're going to be racing, which I don't want to mention here now, it's roughly about 1,200 feet, give or take, and we're at 2,300. So the tuner, Nick, is thinking that the car will be a little bit more boost happy, and hopefully we don't hit that upper limit, as we want to keep the boost in the control, shaft speed on the turbo and the control, so on and so forth. But today is part 2, where we're going to be removing the exhaust and installing the wheels, which just arrived. And as you can tell, they just arrived from 034 Motorsport. So these are their 18-inch wheels. I'm going to open them with you here for the first time. And these are fully forged, which is pretty cool, rather than the cast wheels that we have on the car now. And again, this is just the 18-inch wheel for both daily driving and racing. Look at that. Wheel cap underneath. Oh, wow. That looks cool. And it's kind of like a gunmetal silver almost. Kind of like a bluish silver. Damn it, bluish. No! But that looks great. That is a wheel, man. And the cool thing about these is the TSWs that are on the car now. Again, no one made wheels for the RS3 in terms of 18-inch wheels when we first got them a couple years ago. We followed Hank and Rs Motorsport in terms of what to get. The TSWs are a 53 millimeter offset, and we have to use a 5 mil spacer all the way around in order for them to work, especially with the larger, wider tires. So these wheels now are fully forged, one piece, and they require no spacer, which is awesome, which will make that much easier. And we have the wheel stud kit that's already on the car. Most of the suspension is all 034. So this should give us the advantage. And it's super light, man. Look at this. Super, super light. So I'm really excited to get these on the car. So we're going to get the DR2s mounted. And then they also kind of sent a little swag pack, which is kind of cool. Some shirts and some hats. So I'm excited to open this up and throw some of the stickers on the car. But they also, these jerks. So if you guys remember in the last video, I kind of mentioned where Hank sent over a painted blue inlet. And he did it on purpose because blue is not my color. I love silver. Everything, even on the wide body, is silver, 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 silver. So just imagine that everything is silver, right? So they sent it with like a gray gunmetal, and they sent gray, flat gray primer, and then metallic silver if I wanted to paint the wheels. You guys are jerks, and you know, there's only a limit to how much I can get trolled in terms of how much I love silver paint. But I'm really excited to get these wheels on. We're going to go get these mounted with the DR2s and then thrown on the car. And we're going to yank the exhaust and get the car in the trailer. So I'm really excited for that. Wow, the ZTF 034 Motorsport wheels look absolutely amazing in person. Pictures don't do it justice, and I'm sorry for the condition of the garage. I got crap everywhere as we were prepping this car for drag racing. Spent the whole day today, or at least half of it, logging with Rs Motorsport, getting this car optimal to its current setup on the IMS 1000 kit. Now that we have the upgraded fueling, now that we have the large IMS 1000 turbo inlet. But anyway, as we continue, you know, we already removed the interior. You know, we installed the Kirky seat. So, you know, we lost a bit of weight in the car. And now we're going to be installing the 034 Motorsport ZTF bolt-on wheel, forged, no adapters needed. And man, these things are massive. Oh, those things are nice. And again, we're not running a full slick. Number one, we're not going to be running the old slick wheels that we were running before, just because we're not running adapters on a custom wheel setup, and we're gonna secure an actual custom-made wheel in terms of a bead lock for a future episode. But that aside, tomorrow's race is on an airstrip that's being rented out. And it's unprepped, I'm pretty sure. So we've done really well with the DR2s previously in our experience, both on the track and on the street. TTRS's Rs3s have gone as low as 9394 on DR2s. So now with the IMS 1000 built motor, we're really confident that on the DR2s we should do really, really well. Really excited to see how they perform. But 18 pounds, forged, beautiful quality. The finish is nice, and I think it might be a nice contrast to the silver, a kind of gunmetal slash gray. I don't know if you want to call it graphite, but it looks stunning. So I'm going to get the wheels mounted, and then what we're going to do is get the car up on ramps and remove the catback from integrated engineering off, because we're going full drag in terms of weight reduction. We're going to remove the rear exhaust, and we're going to install, I think I mentioned it on the last video, it should be here somewhere. We're going to install the 034 Motorsport turn down, which bolts up to their downpipe. So it's a 3.5-inch downpipe, and then basically we'll bolt on and angle that exhaust down, rather than it being just open downpipe where the exhaust will shoot towards the back of the car. So to avoid any issues, we're going to install this. We've been using this for a couple of years now, and with great success and no issues. So we're going to install this bad boy, and it's going to be loud. But she's going to be ready for this drag race. We're going to have some fun. I have not drag raced officially with her. Technically, we went to Willow a couple weeks ago, but full interior. It was turned down due to having the stock fuel lines in it too. In elevation, it was a whole big mess. But we went to have some fun, and we did a couple runs. There was another Rs3 there that performed really, really well, 850 built Cyvex car, and we had some fun. So this is going to be the second official race for 2020 since all the crazy COVID stuff started breaking out and kind of shut everything down. So really excited to get this car back on the track. We still have to do the flywheel upgrade. So again, we're somewhat limited to how much power and how much launching we're going to be able to do. But we're going to do the best we can with the stock flywheel and go as far as we can. And then hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll get a aftermarket flywheel, upgraded flywheel in there so we can start turning things up. There's gonna be some Syvex upgrades that are gonna be coming up in the video. We have still to do, we haven't done a full Syvex review video, and I wanna do that in its entirety, show you guys how we properly log, how we flash, how we do remote tuning with Iris Motorsport. As long as they're willing to agree to that, I'll try to show it in a way where it doesn't give away any of their proprietary tuning and setups. So I'll figure out a way how to get that on here. But I want to go through the features of it, the different maps, break it down 1 all the way to 100 in terms of why I went Syvex, all the safety features versus running the stock ECU. And we'll do that again in a future video. So let's get this car set up. I'm going to install the wheels. I'm so excited to see what it's going to look like. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what this car is going to look like with these wheels and what the contrast is. So let's get to it. Let's install them and let's finish up the RS3 drag race prep video for us at Malaka Motorsports. We got the wheels on, everything bolted up real nice. Don't mind the Back to the Future look. We just removed the exhaust. The exhaust is completely removed. And then we have our turn down, which is right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's a dump. Little elbow, bolts to the downpipe, and then it dumps straight down. And that's it. Quick way to save 70, 75 pounds, depending on what exhaust system you have and how much it weighs. And that's it, I think. That is the, let me see. Trying to do this one-handed. Down, still in the rear ramps, and that's it. This car is ready. So, don't mind the mess. Interior is out, pretty much. Unbolted, as you guys saw, was really easy. Exhaust is off. Turn down is on. New wheels from 034 Motorsport. Again, teased a little bit as we were unboxing it. Looks very, very nice, and I like the contrast. It's kind of like a dark silver, kind of graphite compared to the actual silver. I think it matches more with the actual calipers, which looks really, really nice. And then the rears, I have the new Speed Big Brake kit. It's actually a nice contrast too. Don't mind the gap there for the squat. And again, for those of you guys curious about what suspension we're still running the MSS lowering spring kit. That's adjustable. Been drag racing, daily driving on this thing, half-mile racing on this thing. I don't know, maybe I'll go to coilover, but so far it's doing really well. And that's it. That is the conclusion to the RS3 drag race prep that you'll need in order to successfully go drag racing, or that we've been using as a formula to successfully go drag racing. And this is going to be with a 18-inch wheel on a DR2. So again, exhaust removed, lightweight wheels and tires, interior removed, and you're good to go. You are absolutely good to go. Again, sorry for the mess in the garage. Between installing Stav's nitrous and then working on this car to get it ready for a race that's going to start in like 6 hours, still haven't gotten any sleep. This is some simple stuff that you can do to really maximize your ETN performance in the quarter or half mile or in Mexico. You can yank the interior. Again, you guys saw it took about maybe 15-20 minutes to do it myself. If you got a buddy of yours, you guys can knock it out in 10 minutes. And it's a cheap way, an easy way to kind of shed some poundage to get the car going where it needs to go. So guys, this concludes the RS3 RS prep for the drag strip. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Without further ado, guys, I'm George. This is Malaka Motorsports. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.